Hey, shalom, 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 shalom. First and foremost, let me give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakaha Kodash. I would like to give double honors unto the apostles, the bishops, and the elders of Great Millstone that do rule exceptionally well. They continually feed the flock with 100% truth. They do that free of charge. They also uplift and they magnify the name of Yahweh and also the name of Yahweh Shai. Let me say shalom, citations, mercy, and blessings to all the sincere brothers that's out there that push this word with truth and with faith, striving to be a part of the hopeful elect to the very best of their ability, doing the right thing in the sight of Yahweh Shem Shai, also doing their part to uplift and to magnify those names, the name of Yahweh, and also the name of Yahweh Shai. And to the very few sisters that's out there that sincerely believe and is seeking to do the right thing to you as well, I do say shalom. My name is Stabawa Amath of Great Millstone Northwest. Coming with a quick message, man. I was looking at this word gimmick. I was thinking about this word gimmick as a video or two had crossed my feed and made me think of this word gimmick, okay, by some individuals who even they call themselves Israelites. They have a ministry set up, so to speak, and they use gimmicks to attract people. So it made me want to look into this word. And this is off of Merriam-Webster, gimmick. All right. A mechanical device for secretly and dishonestly controlling gambling apparatus, an ingenious or novel mechanical device. An important element such as a requirement or a condition that is not immediately apparent, a catch, an ingenious and usually new scheme or angle. And then C, which is one of the ones that is the most direct, which is a trick or device used to attract business or attention. All right. One of the things that we say here at Great Millstone, starting from the elder apostles and working its way down, is that we don't need gimmicks for the truth. Okay. The truth, the word of Yahweh Shem Shai is enough that you don't need to add in gimmicks. Okay. You don't have to add in all this extraness to be able to get the point across. And yet we see individuals who deploy tricks, who deploy schemes, all right, or new angles to catch up people, to snare people, all right. And the individuals that's doing that, they know who they are. They know that they're guilty, and ultimately the Lord is going to do something about it. Okay, ultimately the Lord is going to handle the situation of individuals who's using gimmicks. All right. Now I got a couple of scriptures that I would like to go through. Pull up my blue letter here. I got a couple of scriptures that I would like to hit kind of on this point, kind of on this topic, such as Matthew chapter 23. And this is what Yahweh Shai referred to some of these Pharisees, okay, wicked Pharisees. I don't know why I'm in John. Matthew chapter 23. Okay. Let's take a look at this. Matthew chapter 23. The point that I want is down here, which is verse 27 is what I want. It says, "Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye are like unto whited sepulchres." I'm sorry, that word always twists me up. Sepulchres, okay, which is is ultimately a tomb or a grave, okay. It'll be an above ground grave that it'll get covered with a rock, but it'll have a dead body within it. Okay. It says, which indeed appear beautiful outward, but within full of dead man's bones and of all uncleanness. Let's read this in the NLT. It says, what sorrow awaits you, teachers of religious law, and you Pharisees, hypocrites, for you are like whitewashed tombs, beautiful on the outside, because they're painted white, so beautiful on the outside, but filled on the inside with dead people's bones and all sorts of impurity. And there's a lot of individuals who claim to teach the Israelites about their heritage, and within them is all sorts of impurities. Within them is all sorts of malice and ill intent towards those Israelites, because they're not coming to them correctly in the name of Yahweh Shem Shai to uplift and to magnify the names of Yahweh and the names of Yahweh Shai. They come with their own agenda, which is why they have to deploy tricks such as a gimmick. Okay. The fancy tickers on their videos, the intro videos, the constant flashing of a Cash App or of a Venmo, or some type of way to be able to PayPal, some type of way to be able to send them money. Okay, them setting up some type of a store so they can sell you something that has their logo plastered upon it. That's all. It's all gimmicks, man. All right. Uh, Clickbait titles. Okay, clickbait titles to get you to click and to watch their video. All right, monetizing their video, so on and so forth, man. That is all gimmicks. That's unnecessary. Okay, doing these marches around places. All right, everybody having the same attire on, a uniform, so to speak. Okay, that's all gimmicks. As the men of the Lord are to be as the altar was, which the altar was made of unhewn stones, meaning that they wasn't shaped all the same. Meanwhile, you have individuals that they want all of the everybody in their congregation to be shaped the same, in the exact same outfit, looking like carbon copies of each other, man. All right, and it's not supposed to be so. So there's sorrow that's going to await you individuals who's in charge of these ministries that's doing that. There's sorrow that's going to await you, because the Lord knows the heart. He knows what's on the inside, and he knows that you're insincere and that this is all a money grab for you. And there's way too many camps that's out there that look at this as a money grab, man. All right? And the Lord's not looking kindly on that. So these individuals, they're like these whited sepulchres. They're like these whitewashed tombs, you know? Outside, it looks like there's nothing wrong, but on the inside, they're like I said, they're filled with all kinds of uncleanness, man. All right? Um Yahushua also mentions how individuals are like wolves in sheep's clothing. Matthew chapter 7, verse 15. It says, beware of false prophets which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravening wolves. And ye shall know them by their fruit. Do men gather grapes of thorns or figs of thistles? Even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit. And there's some evil fruit that's been spread out there, man. All right, there's some absolute lies. Individuals telling you that the name of the Heavenly Father or the name of his Son doesn't matter. That's evil. That's evil fruit that's being spread out there, man. Okay? That's you gathering thorns and thistles rather than gathering the grapes and gathering the figs. All right? The raven and wolves out there, man. Especially if somebody had spent a good portion of their time telling you one thing, and then all of a sudden they do a 180, okay, and start teaching something else. You gotta really consider that individual if you're following somebody like that. All right, if the apostles out of nowhere switch the doctrine into something completely different than what they've taught before. All right, and I'm not talking about and something being a deeper understanding being unlocked in it. I'm talking about they say that the name of the Lord no longer matters, or that the MOTB is something other than what we have been teaching that it is, which is the RFID microchip, or that the scriptures isn't about the Israelites, that it's about the heathen nations, and the heathen can make it in. If they start teaching something like that, we're gonna have our eyes on them. Like, hey man, like what's up? You know, we're gonna question what the hell is going on because of the 180 change that happens. Okay. So it's the same thing. Look, we're supposed to be following individuals who's actually looking out for our souls. And if you sincerely believe that whoever you're following, if you believe that they're correct, then hold fast to your faith, man. Hold fast to your faith and keep with that. All right. But if there's a little speckle of doubt, man, you really need to consider, evaluate yourself first and foremost, but really consider what it is that you got going on, man. All right. We here at Great Millstone, we look into the things for ourselves. We look into the scriptures for ourselves. The apostles may say something, and that might put us on the path to look into it, but then we're going to come to the conclusion for ourselves. And that's why, all the brothers can confidently preach the same thing, is because we have assured ourselves that, yes, this is correct, man. after looking into it, not just blindly following individuals. I know there's certain camps that's out there, big camps that's out there, that they just listen to whatever is told to them by their leadership and they just run with it. They don't try to look into it for themselves. Okay. And if you have doubt about what you're preaching, you shouldn't preach it. All right. You got these guys over there at Genesis or TGC or whatever the hell their thing is called now. These guys said that, they didn't really believe the things that they was preaching for years, man. That's a red flag right there. That's a major red flag. If you don't believe it, you shouldn't be teaching it, man. Straight up. Because you're being untruthful. You think the Lord's going to look kindly on that if you're just leading the people astray? I don't think so. And a lot of these individuals, they do it for the world's sake, man. All right? They're teaching things according to, these world-friendly doctrines after the rudiments of the world, like it says in Colossians. In fact, let's grab that real quick. Colossians, the 2nd chapter. All right? Colossians chapter 2, verse 8, it says, "Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, after the traditions of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Yahushai." Okay? It says, "Don't let anyone corrupt you with empty philosophies and high-sounding nonsense that come from human thinking and from spiritual powers of this world, rather than from Yahushai." Let's look at this word for rudiment real quick, because I'm out of my curiosity. I want to take a look at this word. Rudiment. Okay. Storchion. Let me see how close I was.
Strong's G 4747. Storchion.
Oh.
Storchion.
Hey man, I'm getting better with the Greek. Hey, storchion, right? Which any first thing from which the others belong to some series of composite whole take their rise, an element of first principle, the letters of the alphabet as the elements of speech, not, however, the written characters, but the spoken sounds, the element from which all things have come, the material causes of the universe, heavenly bodies, either as a part of the heavens or as others think, because in them the elements of man, life, and destiny were supposed to reside. Okay, you had the Mississippi Maniac that came back into the spotlight recently with some madness. Okay, what he had was the rudiments of this world. Okay, and you see guys, again, bringing up Genesis or Genesis Ministries, whatever the hell their name is, bringing those guys up again. They're trying to reevaluate the Lashon Kodash, the Holy Tongue. Okay, and they're trying to add the Yiddish to it rather than keeping it funky with what has been taught onto them. Okay, so they're performing actions of trying to take this into something that's of the world rather than taking it going after what's been spiritually understood. Okay, so beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, after the traditions of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Yahushai. You got a lot of Israelite groups that's not truly following after Yahushai. Okay, if you're not calling on the name of Yahweh in the name of Yahushai, then obviously you're not following after Yahushai. Okay, I don't care how you want to slice it. If you say Christ, you're praying to a white man. Okay, no matter how you want to think about it. If you say Christ, go type Christ into Google. You're going to get the picture of who it is that you're praying to, man. I don't care if you got a painting of him with blackened skin. That doesn't change it from the fact that you're worshiping that idol that got set up. Okay? If you're calling on Jesus Christ, which we don't even like saying that name. Most of the time, I'll say Jangus Krangus rather than actually saying Jesus Christ, because it rubs us wrong, man. Because we know how much of a insult that is toward our Lord and Savior Yahushua HaMashiach, all right? Which is how you actually would say his name. Yahushua, he deliver, HaMashiach, the anointed, okay? So people are using these gimmicks and it gets them praises, it gets them, likes and comments and people big up them. But Yahushua said to watch out when people are when people speak well of you, man. All right. As we know that this truth, like I said in a recent video that I did, we know that this truth is not world friendly. All right. So if you're coming with a world friendly message, if you're coming with something that that is getting a lot of praise from individuals who's of the world, then something's wrong. All right. Because we are here to condemn the world. We're here to tell them what they're doing is wrong, which nobody likes being told that the way that they're living is wrong or the thing that they're doing is wrong. Nobody likes that. Okay. This is Luke chapter 6, verse 26. It says, "Woe to you when all men shall speak well of you, for so did their fathers to the false prophets." All right. So a telltale sign of a false prophet is that they get a lot of praise from the world, man. Like these Christian pastors, all right? People like Creflo Dollar. I don't even know if Creflo Dollar is still a major factor in the Christian world anymore, but I remember growing up, Creflo Dollar was the guy, man. You know? I know TD Jakes and them fell from grace, but you got these mega pastors, all right? With these big old churches and all kinds of people sending them money. You know, well, you got some of these Israelite groups who have built up this persona. They've used these gimmicks to build up a persona, and they're getting all kind of support as well, man. You know, and they're not really considering that. You know, hey, we here at Great Millstone, we accept that we're not a well liked camp. We accept that because we truly follow after Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. The Lord is about to destroy this place, man. Okay? If people are not telling you that the Lord is about to destroy Babylon the Great, America, and destroy anybody who loves to be here, if you're not receiving that message, then you're not receiving the correct message of the Bible. All right? If you're not receiving a message that's telling you that the elect of the nation of Israel is the ones that's about to be saved from that destruction, not all kinds of people, not, you know, all kinds of, majority of our own people is about to be swept up in the destruction. If you're not hearing that message, then you're not hearing the correct message, man. All right? That means that whoever is telling you the message is a false prophet. Okay? If they're not telling you about that RFID microchip warning you to stay far away from that thing, then you're not receiving the correct message. And don't worry, you don't have to believe us, man. You really don't have to believe us. Go follow after whoever the hell you're going to follow after, and we'll see who's correct. But as for me and my house, and I always quote this, all right, from the book of Joshua, as for me and my house, we're going to serve the Lord Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, man. Okay? So if they're speaking well of you, you might be following a false prophet, man. Okay? Or if they're speaking well of you, you may be a false prophet. As we here at Great Millstone, we get love from our from the brothers within the brotherhood, but individuals that's outside of it, they don't, you know what I'm saying? Majority of the Israelite camps look at us as if we're the redheaded stepchild, and that's okay because we're not here to appeal to the world, man. We're searching for the elect of the nation of Israel, okay? Because they're the ones that this song is truly going to resonate with. Everybody else, to hell with you, man. All right. If you worried about your grandma who's a classified as a Edomite, if you worried about her, then you got the wrong mindset, man. Okay. Because it's truly all about the elect. Even your own moms. Look, my mom is a hardcore Christian. My mother is a hardcore Christian, man. She goes to church faithfully. There, you know what I'm saying? There's little hope for her because she's caught up in that, man. Okay. So if she, you know what I'm saying, if when the fire comes and it sweeps her away, I'm not about to be, all upset and distraught about it. I got to work out my own salvation with fear and trembling, man. All right? Let's go to the book of Micah. I'll close it out after this too. Let's go to the book of Micah. We'll go to Micah the 3rd chapter. In fact, let's grab the whole 3rd chapter, man. Let's read this. I'll read this pretty quick. It's not very long. It's what, 12 verses. So let's read through this. It says, and I said, "Here I pray you, O heads of Jacob." All right. So you individuals who's in positions of leadership, got flocks underneath you, and are really the wolves. You're the whitest sepulchres. Okay. It says, and the princes of the house of Israel, is it not for you to know judgment? Who hate the good and love the evil, who pluck off their skin from off them and their flesh from off their bones. And a way that individuals is plucking the skin and the flesh off is that you're not telling the truth about the Bible. You're not telling the truth about the message that's supposed to be spread. You're not telling the people who they are and that they need to, the way they can really reclaim their identity isn't just by saying, "Oh, I'm an Israelite," but by saying that I'm an Israelite that's following after Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Because if you can be an Israelite, but if you're not, trying to tap in with the Heavenly Father, then you're nothing. Okay? It says, who also eat the flesh of my people and flay their skin from off them, and they break their bones and chop them in pieces, as for a pot and as flesh within the cauldron. Right? Because you got people that's out there that their whole motivation is only to make money off of the ministry, man. Not really to spread the words of Yahweh Bashim Yahshua. We here at Great Millstone, man, we don't ask you for nothing. And we still put up the most edifying videos that we can produce. We're not asking for a cent from you individuals, man. Okay? If you want to pay tithes, you can pay tithes to the apostles and the elders. But brothers ain't sitting here, flashing cash apps, all right? Flashing PayPal and Venmos, okay? Because we're not in it for your money, man. The Lord takes care of us. We don't need your FRNs. The Lord takes care of us, and we work for ourselves. All right? It says, then shall they cry unto the Lord Yahweh, but he will not hear them. He will even hide his face from them at that time, as they have behaved themselves ill in their doings. And there's a lot of individuals who fits that bill, man. Just can't get right, know the right thing to do, but refuse to do it. It says, thus saith the Lord concerning the prophets that make my people err, that bite with their teeth and cry peace, and he that putteth not into their mouths, they even prepare war against him. Right? You got our people you got some of these false prophets that's out there just causing our people to err, man, telling them it's all about the law, statutes, and commandments, but not teaching them anything about the faith and Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. The law, statutes, and commandments is an impossibility, man. You're leading our people into, you're leading them down the wrong way. Now, granted, we are to follow the law, statutes, and commandments to the very best of our ability, but our righteousness is not going to be judged based off of that, as it's impossible for us to keep the law, statutes, and commandments 100%. All right, and if you break one, you've broken them all. So you got individuals walking around claiming that they're righteous because they say that they follow the law. Meanwhile, every single day they've done something that's breaking the law, man. All right. And they're telling them that they're in peace, but really they're not in peace. All right. And you're not building their faith up to where when things really fall apart, things hit the fan, they can continue to rely on Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, because right now in that practice time, they're not relying on Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. So what are they going to do when it's really game time, man? It says, therefore, night shall be unto you, right? And that's that we see darkness upon all these individuals that got to use gimmicks to be able to push forth the message. That means that truly you're in darkness, man. Okay? It says that ye shall not have a vision, and it shall be dark unto you, that ye shall not divine. And the sun shall go down over the prophets, and the day shall be dark over them. And that's why they don't have any wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. That's why they can't really, if you gotta use a gimmick to push the message, that means that you don't really understand the message yourself. Okay? It says, then shall the seers be ashamed, and the diviners confounded. Yea, they shall all cover their lips, for there is no answer of the Heavenly Father. But truly, I am full of power by the Spirit of the Lord, and of judgment and of might, to declare unto Jacob his transgressions and to Israel his sins. And that's what we do here at Great Millstone constantly, and that's why we're hated, man. All right? That's why individuals don't like us, because we even call out these other camps due to the fact that we're defending the gospel. All right? You individuals are teaching the wrong thing, and we're going to let you know that what you're teaching. We're going to let you know you're teaching the wrong thing. We're also going to let you know that the way you're teaching is wrong. Okay? And it's according unto the Bible. It's not because we feel superior unto you. We recognize that the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is upon us, man. We're full of that power. We're full of the spirit of the Lord. Okay? It says here, and I'm not saying that in a proud sense, all right? It says, hear this, I pray you, ye heads of the house of Jacob, and the princes of the house of Israel, that abhor judgment and pervert all equity. They build up Zion with blood and Jerusalem with iniquity. The heads thereof judge for reward, and the priests thereof teach for hire. And that's what we see. We see individuals that want to teach you for hire, man. Hey, get the likes up. Get the likes up, man. The Cash App. Those individuals is in it for hire. Hey, make sure you buy the new t-shirt. Make sure you buy the new hat. Make sure you buy the new mug. Okay? Make sure you get this Bible. You got individuals that push forth and sold a Bible that is supposedly in the Lashon Kodash, only for them to turn and say that they don't believe in the Lashon Kodash. Hey, how does that work out, man? You know, anybody who actually followed Genesis, you should be pissed off. All right. Um, and the prophets thereof divine for money, yet will they lean upon the Lord and say, is not the Lord among us? None evil can come upon us. And they're telling you that the Lord's with them. As they push forth gimmicks onto you, they're telling you that the Lord is with them, man. All right. It says, therefore shall Zion for your sake be plowed as a field, and Jerusalem shall become heaps, and all you guys is your ministries is gonna fall apart, man. All right. It says, and the mountain of the house as the high places of the forest. Okay. So you guys are gonna be reduced into nothing, man, because you're not truly coming to serve Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. You're gonna be brought to naught. All right. If this work be of men, it shall be brought to naught, as the scriptures say, man. Okay. So I kind of wanted to get into that. Like I said, I saw a video or two that made me think of the word gimmicks. So then I was looking up the definition of gimmicks, and then all of this transpired. So, continue to cry out unto Yahweh Shem Shai in hopes that we can get the fuck up out of this place really soon, man. All right. And pay attention to the individuals that's feeding you the truth, and recognize whether it is indeed the truth or not. Okay. If you don't believe the words we're saying, that's fine. Seek who you're gonna actually follow, and we'll see who comes out on top in the end of everything, man. All right. So with that, I'm gonna say shalom.